Welcome back to the ASUS ROG Dreamleague Season 2. We're,
It just feels like we're surrounded by midgets here.
You're giants.
yes.
I know.
What happened?
I think you're pretty comfortable there.
After that last game, we have to sit down.
Got to rethink.
The empathy of watching it, you know, even our butts hurt. So we have these comfy chairs.
I imagine MVP, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, what happened that game? I think James summarized it very well during the game. The tri lane needed to get level 2. They didn't. They got like
I didn't say that. That was Andy.
Yeah, Andy said it.
You can give James credit anyway. It's fine. Continue.
Cool. So as James said, they needed to get level 2. They didn't. The Nature's Prophet couldn't do much. He couldn't even stop.
Well, the thing I agree with James a lot is the Sven pick. Because Sven allows the enemy tri lane to fight at level 1. You don't have to wait for the enemy team to ever get to the level 2. And that's kind of what we saw. Sven just initiated 1, and that's kind of all she wrote.
Thanks, Lumi.
Yeah, and the only saving grace for MVP was that the Pugna was doing really well in the mid lane.
The Prophet wasn't doing too bad either until he had a TP, and then he kind of fell behind.
Yeah, but the Pugna was like doubling the Naga Siren in last hit, which, I mean, it's kind of...
I mean, it's Pugna against melee.
Yeah, exactly. It should be expected that you will get, but he was getting also a lot of denies. And
You don't have roaming supports when they're in the tri lane. So you're like completely, if you want the runes and you want to push out the wave, they're all yours, right, with the bottle. And it was really weird that they took the fight to the Pugna, which is the opposite of what you want. You know, when they're actually chasing there with just 2 of them, Lar and Tron.
But June got the tier 1 because of that. I mean, more or less, he got to like 20% HP basically when he TP'd away. Yeah. So it was still fun, even if it was weird.
Sometimes not giving me you guys. I think it's me, though. I think I broke it. Maybe it doesn't work when you sit down.
Notice how many pro players have like names like months. You have March, you have June, you have in July.
Okay.
I mean, there's...
I'm going to go to Korea and call myself December.
December?
Sounds like a stripper's name, but I could live up to it.
Are you going to find May, though?
Don't know.
I mean, you're in that age now. But apparently we do have the game 2 ready.
Yes, we do.
Good.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a better and longer game.
Well, it will be a better cast.
That is for sure.
Because Lumi is going to be joining you guys.
There you go. I'm raising the average a bit.
Yeah. I mean, just because it's like 3 heads is better than 2.
That's true.
So I guess you're going to join them, and we're going to cast game 2, or actually the second game 1 of the 3 best of 1s between IG and MVP Phoenix. And the game looks more or less like this.
Oh, it looks exactly like that.
Brilliant. Well played, well played, well played. And unlike the first game, where it was just me and James, we actually have a third party involved.
Yeah, we're going to cast with Lumi, because like, I decide, oh no, I want to see this out.
Okay.
I want to see what's going to happen, and I really like this chair.
The storylines.
Yeah, and the storylines. So we'll see if MVP Phoenix have done their montage video. They've trained. So,
well, I think it's pretty easy for them to get over a loss like that, because to me, it's simpler to be like, okay, we just got outdrafted, made one really dumb mistake by getting first blooded in the river, and then all the heroes in the tri lane were level 2 before us, and then suddenly we just couldn't do anything. Like, that to me is a kind of loss that I could accept and just be like, okay, we'll go new, and then we'll just try with a different game plan. So maybe MVP Phoenix are coming into this with not too much of being like held up in the past.
Yep. And also joining us on the cast is our host of the Dreamleague, making his entry into commentary, one of the first times here. We'll see how he does. Please be nice to him. It's David Luminasang.
So let me ask the beginner question here, because it's curious to me. Yeah, please help me with my mic. Yeah, it's my first time in the rodeo.
My in-ear cuts off.
No, it's Lumi's mic, actually.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, like he was cutting off for me as well.
So, you know how...
But I don't know how you, Andy, to speak.
Hello?
It's fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you in my ear.
See? Told you, it's Lumi.
You know how Andy said earlier, when you go tier play first, you know, you open yourself up to being countered pretty hard, because he's a very one-dimensional hero. Would you guys say the same for Naga Siren? Because it seems like Invictus Gaming had no problem first picking it, and they are very afraid of the enemy team first picking it.
That's because Naga can do more than one thing.
I mean, she sits in the lane and farms the Radiant.
She can do 3 things. She can support, she can mid, she can farm. So it's not a predictable hero at all, actually. And with the way that they picked it with a Dazzle. So it could just as easily have been support, and they could have picked another farming hero with that combo, and it still would have been strong.
I mean, hell, man, she can do those things, and she can also sing.
And she can cook.
You know, Dota's got talent.
Yeah.
Naga Siren's going to win that.
I think it's like comparing apples to oranges, really, at least in terms of the heroes. Like, the only similar function that they have is that they make illusions and they farm sometimes. Well, Terrorblade farms all the time. Naga farms sometimes.
Which, by the way, I really like the fact that in the new patch, they made her casting time longer for the sing.
Did they?
Song Siren. It's like she's taking a pause, like, all right, here, I'm going to sing, and then the song goes off. Should make it really long, like the Lycan Ultimate. But it's like 0.8 second cast time now.
What's she gonna do? Like she's a member of a band. She's gonna be like, okay, one, two, 3, 4,
and then sing.
MVP Phoenix's turn.
Well, it looks like MVP are taking a different approach to the second game, which I like. And IG are also going to be able to get their hands on a Centaur, which is a hero that they themselves, I believe, banned in the first game. And this is again very team fight oriented. But the thing that kind of concerns me is the fact that they're picking the Viper into the Centaur, again, not knowing what other kind of heroes IG are going to be going with. And while Viper might be a pretty strong laner, who is going to be able to get at least one core item up relatively quick, he is, again, susceptible to 5-man. And I'm curious to see if IG is going to be running something similar to the hyper-aggression they had last game.
I also think, though, like, yeah, subjective to 5-man, but the thing I love about the Viper is like, it's such a hard hero to commit on to shut down in lane.
Yeah.
Because in laning phase, the Viper does well, and even if you're going to commit support, there's almost no guarantee that you're getting the kill. And even if you do get the kill, it takes a long time to take down a Viper, that your supports might be able to rotate and get the counter kills necessary to, you know, just make it not favorable for you. So Invictus Gaming, Centaur and Batrider, awesome in terms of team fights, pickups, and the Crystal Maiden, you know, not really a target here, but I'm just scared as a Crystal Maiden to go in a game versus a Centaur War Runner, because when people can get on you, you melt.
Yeah, I wonder why Crystal Maiden's picked so early.
Yeah.
If you pick her, it's probably countering a specific hero. She's quite good against invisibility because Frostbite holds them invisible. I'm just not sure why she's picked early. Maybe they're gonna take advantage of her aura a bit more. We'll see. But now
that could be a point.
Batrider selected. Chances are this is going to be a safe lane War Runner, and maybe even like a mid Invoker, and just take advantage of some instantaneous burst. Okay, now Phoenix is drafting really random heroes.
Well, it's a really strong lane. It kind of, okay, if you're looking at it from IG's perspective, you make it seem like, okay, we don't want to go aggressive now, because even though the CM in itself might be punishable, we don't know what the carry is, and there's also a Lich. So no matter what, we're going to be putting ourselves at a disadvantage. If IG decide to dodge and go safe lane, that means they could potentially do a 2-2-1. And you could keep the Lich in the safe lane, put the CM towards mid, and also deter any aggression that would be coming towards the Viper, who is somewhat gankable, at least with the kind of damage that IG have right now. I mean, you can combo, and it's pretty dangerous, more or less. And in a way, I think the MVP Phoenix is actually drafting pretty well.
Yeah, I like the clockwork on top of this, especially. But go on, sorry, you were saying?
Well, I mean, it's really good against heroes like Bat, actually, and Centaur, and Tiny. Yep. It's actually good against all
three.
You
need something to hold them in place for Lich and Crystal Maiden and Viper. Because those three heroes together, you can, like, somewhat almost disengage on, and they don't really stand up strong when you engage on them. You know, it's not necessarily like they, hey, you know, like, you can play around, you know, in terms of their abilities. But the clockwork, that's... You know, that's disruption. That's the kind of disruption in the fights that you're going to need. And, you know, if you get between, you know, you can push out the Tiny, you stop the Batrider being able to pull people away up the lasso, or how you even want to use it earlier on and go aggressive with the clockwork. You know, the burst damage from the Lich and the Viper, you know, even if you're going to sacrifice the clockwork, can get you some really crucial kills. And you're not going to be too worried about the clockwork's farm. So as long as you get those supports, you know, higher levels, and also your Viper, you could do really well going into the mid game. But that clockwork, there's a lot on that clockwork, in my opinion.
Would you say that this lineup really lacks damage, especially in that 15 to 20 minute mark where Centaur gets fairly tanky, Tiny's going to build something like an Aghanim's?
Yeah, I think you rely on the Lich ulti a lot. And I also think the Tiny pickup was like Invictus Gaming throwing in like an amazing amount of damage, because the Tiny combo makes the Viper feel a lot more killable, and especially Crystal Maiden and Lich if you get on them. But the Vengeful Spirit's a great pickup here as well, being able to help people out of cogs, you know, swap them or just adding an additional stun. So I really like the Invictus Gaming lineup, again, a lot more. And they banned out the Wisp, MVP Phoenix, for obvious reasons. And Spectre's been banned out, actually, the last ban for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, to me, IG doesn't want to go aggressive this game. In the last game, it was pretty obvious that they wanted to try to punish a Terrorblade, but again, they saved their carry pick until the last, so MVP definitely learning from their past experience and saying, okay, we're not going to just show our hand immediately. We're going to pick two relatively ambiguous heroes. Honestly, if MVP wanted to, they could go aggressive with these heroes. Like VS, not really that strong in lane. If you go aggressive with Lich, CM+1, or heck, even the Viper, that lane is going to win. Like, there's nothing I don't really think that IG could pick right now that would just be like, okay, well, now all of a sudden IG's lane can actually compete. against two 600 range heroes, I still think it wouldn't win.
I think Lifestealer would be great. Bristleback would just charge in and not really give a damn about anything.
The thing is, it's an attrition lane. It's not a lane that's necessarily meant to kill, so they wouldn't have to play aggressive, and it's really easy to keep your distance with these heroes because your spell range is ridiculously long.
But I think Lifestealer is a good hero because you want to get the farm, and you can get the kills.
Yeah. I mean, attrition-wise, if you look at the mana pool of these IG heroes, Tiny, Venge, once you throw one stun, they're kind of like they need to sit back and clear it up. Yeah. Whereas Crystal Maiden and Lich, you know, they have a much bigger mana pool. So Lifestealer would be great. Bristleback is great if they want to play offensive. But like Andy said, they drafted so well such that they could play a very greedy safe lane carry, and that would just be fine as well. So
yeah, the unfortunate part is IG have banned 4 of them. So their options are not really that wide open. I mean, Terrorblade, Void, Morphling, Spectre, all gone.
10 seconds
I think Bristleback plays actually pretty well with Clockwork, just because of Clockwork actually extends the fight duration with Cogs.
So it is a tri-lane with the Viper, though.
And it's going to be a Death Prophet, and there's going to be a Kunkka.
Support Kunkka.
That's
nice. Yeah, so I think Kunkka adds to the problem that Phoenix is already facing. They are lacking damage. I guess DP gives you some, but you don't have any kind of a, like Bolt, for example, is a great example of a big bursty nuke, and I don't feel Phoenix have that. And now you add the Coco Rum on top of that Bolt. I feel like Kunkka makes IG much tankier than they already are, and Phoenix can't deal with it.
They also did this last game. Like when I was looking at Invictus Gaming's items and I was asking Weapes to go through, it was really interesting to me to see that when they were actually ahead, they wouldn't necessarily prioritize doing something like a medallion. They would actually just be like, let's just get health. Yeah. Because with health, if we're unkillable, we should win every single 5v5 engagement. And they were winning the engagements without even losing somebody. Of course, they were, you know, hugely ahead. But that's what the Kunkka adds to the IG lineup, as Lumi said. It's like, we're making our team very, very hard to kill. And also the Death Prophet, it's like Death Prophet, you know, does kind of like to stand there and make sure the spirits are hitting the tower. It doesn't want to run around much. And so if you actually are able to hit a boat with the Kunkka on the DP, it's like you can actually probably play through the spirits under a tier 1 tower. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But I'm certainly favoring Invictus Gaming. I don't think they have too much of a troublesome time. I mean, maybe the laning phase is really what MVP are going to rely on with the Lich, the Viper, and the DP doing well, which is they certainly can do. So
yeah, I mean, it's going to end up being like Death Prophet potentially, or a Viper versus a Tiny, which either way, I would favor MVP. Like, it doesn't matter which hero they put there, it's probably going to be, they're going to win that lane. And then whatever lane the Lich is in, they should also win. So that's leaving one lane potentially that is either going to get ganked by the support duo of the Kunkka and the VS, which could potentially change the outlook of it. And they are ganking for a Tiny. So I'm kind of thinking that IG is going to focus more on the movement of the lanes, and MVP want to play a slow, static game and try to just play that war of attrition with their laning phase, and then group up as 5 when they have like a mech on the Viper and DP ult.
Yeah, they're definitely playing for roaming. If you look at CH, he's got boots first, Chuan's got a smoke. And obviously with the Lich, you're mostly staying in lane and playing that passive thing that Andy was saying. So yeah, it's a 2 different kind of clash of style, and I favor IG's ganking much more. I think they're going to be, for example, move faster. Well, June's going to get caught. I think he's going to be fine. There's a haste from there. Yeah, he's flying up the trees. But yeah, I think with boots first on Venge, Venge is one of those heroes that just give you so much burst early game, and should pick up very easy kill as you're ganking for a Tiny mid.
It looks like they're actually going to leave the CM
CM's jungling.
Yeah, like yeah. I mean, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier.
Potentially going to be dying. If they know the CM's jungling, it's.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, the double stun. I think once they see the dual lane top, they just immediately know he's there. Ooh. I mean, maybe not know he's exactly there, but have a good idea of that the CM's going to be jungling. Because this is the other option that I kind of mentioned during the laning phase when I saw their draft is if IG doesn't just go full on aggressive tri-lane, then they would probably just 2-2-1, because you don't want to put a CM and a Lich together, because it kind of negates the purpose of having a Lich in the lane, which is just giving you get the lane control regardless. Doesn't matter if you have a third hero
and so
there.
the CM's there to kill, but you're not trying to kill.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can send the CM elsewhere. Okay. Well, it might not be too kind of painful to see the CM die for MVP. But it's more about when IG are going to send that support duo to some of the lanes in terms of, like, you know, to put down the cores. And if the CM is not having a great time, it's like, what is the Lich going to be able to do if it rotates or TPs in, or even the CM who's having a bad time, as we're probably going to see here as we get back into the game. Yep, this is an easy kill. And no stone thrown just yet. Now it is. There comes the torrent, and goodbye. 2 more hits, which is their shared, and Chuan will get it. So that's boots for the Conqueror if you need it.
Yep.
And the torrent has a slow, right, afterwards as well.
Yes.
So it's, yeah.
I think a lot of players would have just thrown the magic missile right from the get-go, but CH understanding he's got boot first, and he's against a CM, so got off like, what, 3-4 physical hits, and she hits pretty hard. And then got off this stun. And
I'm going to say she hits for 48 or 46.
What I think MVP will likely do is just immediately move the Lich and put the CM down there. Because if the supports stick together, the probability that Cheesebug and Chuan are going to be able to get a kill is lowered, at least on the supports, right? So if they control the lane, the only lane that's gankable at that point is mid. Pretty much.
You want to put the MVP supports bottom now?
Well, you either put them bottom or you put them top, because if you put them top, what's going to happen is they're just going to chain gank the DP. And if you put them bottom, at the very least, if you deward properly, then IG doesn't know where the supports are all the time, and maybe that kind of deters them from ganking the safe lane in mid, in which case the only option left is killing March, and that's a clockwork, which is still a pretty hard kill. So I think it's a better alternative than leaving the Lich up there, because you're sacrificing basically 2 lanes if you don't bring the 3rd hero down.
So look at the Lich XP right now, okay? So the Lich, when do you want this Lich to be removed from this lane? I would say you have to remove level 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you offer absolutely nothing. And your CM isn't going to be anywhere near to boots. So even pulling the lane bottom with the Crystal Maiden is going to be painful. Even if the Lich is there, doesn't mean you're going to be able to survive. And on the off lane, you have a Centaur War Rider. It's not amazing, but you will be able to get in for the Stomp and also the Double Edge. So I think wherever the MVP supports are going to go, IG are going to match them and take a kill and still be able to kill the DP mid when they want to, and they're already going bottom. And yeah, you're right. Like I'm fully expecting the MVP maybe to do that, but like it's this is painful.
The thing is, there's no reason to leave the Lich in the top lane anymore because it's a Bat Rider. Like even if you're denying some EXP, you're basically saying, okay, well, Cheesebug and Chuan are going to have free control of our woods because of it. The 1 CM is not going to be able to do anything. Clearly, Heen doesn't want to have to leave his lane to come try to help this in a matchup that he should potentially be winning. And it should be fairly obvious by now that IG are playing super aggressive.
The safe lane Viper has to like block his own creeps to have a chance of getting safe last hits, and he's level 1.
CM's dead again.
This is why I was kind of thinking they would move the Lich, but apparently not.
The big problem right now is we see Reason get a Magic Missile. Yeah, there you go. That's going to be an easy second blood. The problem is that CM is holding the other ward, and there's just no vision anywhere. If you look at the IG wards, they have one seeing mid and allowing to get the easy ganks, and then they have one blocking the pull. Like these are 2 perfect wards when you're playing this kind of aggressive roam. And there you go. Reason needs to actually fight for some vision control, and I'm not even sure what this will actually allow them to do. Sure, you get a pull, but do you even want to pull against this kind of lineup? That could
no, they'll kill you. And also look at the Viper CS. 1 last hit. I think it might be. Does the wards count as last hits? Because I think he might have killed the ward. Actually. Yeah, they actually gave the ward kill. And they're going to rotate mid, and there's another pickoff. So the Viper has been kind of psychologically shut down in terms of like you should not be safe to farm.
Yeah, because the Lich isn't coming bottom.
Because of what could happen, and the Lich is not coming bottom, and is now level 2, and the Centaur is 9 last hits. What level is he? Like almost level 3, I'd say, or 4.
Oh, they might get a kill on Luo here, maybe. Oh, it's only level 1 poison attack. He's way too fast.
It's like what, 10% slow level 1?
I think it's like 10 or 20. I think it's probably 10. But the biggest issue again is it's safety in numbers, more or less. If the Lich had just been bottom from the start, like as soon as IG, they anticipated the lanes perfectly. Like they knew exactly what MVP were going to do. That's the only reason Cheesebug and Chuan were there in the first place. Because they see a CM and they think, okay, they're going to play a little bit greedier because they have a Lich. Why wouldn't they? And then as soon as you get punished once, you just immediately move the Lich.
They're going to have to run that.
They see it coming. They see it coming. Unfortunately, they got boots first on the Dire supports, and CM trying to run as quick as she can. Not too quick, though. Magic Missile is going to fly out. Torrent's going to follow up, and we're going to see a hoof stomp right. Nice dodge by Heen. He dodged 2 spells, breaking angles, and, well, IG looking a little bit bad, missing that. Should have been an auto kill, actually.
Yeah, that's a pretty big mistake. I mean, that would have been a great kill for him as well, because they could sit in this lane and actually just bully him out. But we've no mana left on for a Torrent, and we're just going to have these lanes play out a little bit slower now after that failed gank. And Ferrari farming middle on his tiny 15 and 3 up against the DP, 14 and 3. Has himself a bottle. Ferrari also has a bottle as well. Was there a bottle on supports of IG already? Did someone bring out a bottle? No.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them get one, though.
I think Venge is saving for it. She's sitting at 600 gold, and it's a really good buy. And like you guys said, Lich is still...
Check the Kunkka.
I mean, he's doing a really good job of harassing June.
Okay.
It's only got 1 CS, so if we're looking solely in terms of like the Viper versus the Batrider, the Viper is doing better, but you also have to keep in mind that the Batrider has such an easy recovery method of just stacking the woods and being able to just get his Blink Dagger in like 3 minutes of uncontested farm. So the sacrifice that MVP are making, I still don't think is worth it. And if you just move the level 3 Lich down in bottom lane now, suddenly you have a lane that is basically ungankable. You've already dewarded, so you know the fact that IG can't see your side of the woods, and they only have 2 gank lanes. So,
yeah, I mean, Chuan and Cheesebug is his name. He likes to be called. They're really setting the pace of this game. And once again, there is quite a big creep wave here, and we probably have level 3+ now on that Viper, so we could actually do some significant damage. We have to see level 4 actually. No, they want the Viper. In comes the stun, Torrent to follow. They hit the stomp this time, and they get the kill that they wanted a little bit earlier. And in middle, Ferrari's going to be tossing the DP up, and we'll just be backing away. He's got a full bottle, 3 charges. He'll be able to heal back up nicely. And nope, this won't be a kill either.
I'm actually surprised that CM gone for Aura at level 2. I feel like when you ditch behind Ferrari, we might actually die to a well-played Crypt Swarm. A couple more hits, bottling up, and Tower is focusing on Kyo.
Is he going to toss?
He can.
Enough damage.
Oh! Playing with fire a little bit. It cancels the self. Nicely done.
Wow. That's a little bit too ballsy. Like...
What skin is that, by the way?
I think that's the Star Ladder skin.
That's pretty cool. Oh, Centaur ulti bottom. Should be a dead Viper.
Centaur is already up against a Viper on the off lane. Wow.
Well, the thing is, the Viper wasn't doing anything because he knew that there were 2 supports in his woods the whole time. Like, all of this, honestly, is just because they didn't put the Lich bottom. Like, it's... Okay, even if you could say on paper that maybe the supports would die, at the very least, Heen wouldn't have to sit at his tower the whole time and would be able to farm something.
Yeah, I'd agree. As we mentioned earlier, Viper is like you have to commit a lot to kill a Viper, and you can even see it there. You know, it does take a lot to take down a Viper, and they commit a lot to do so. But by doing it successfully, it's always worth. And we are going to have March with his hook shot. TP middle, looking for a Ferrari.
But there's a ward right there, and 430 sees it. And there you go. That's the gank. And I think it is very important for March to basically get 3 kills by himself to really get his team back, because they are so far behind right now.
The thing is, the game is too reliant on him. Like James said it in the draft, like it's way, way too much pressure on March to be able to land the proper hook shots. And now that March has left the lane, again, June can go back to what he needs to do, which is just making sure that he gets his Blink Dagger. And in all honesty, he's not held that much farther back than Heen was. He's only 2 CS difference, so... I don't know, I just feel like MVP, they adapted in their draft, but they didn't adapt in their play when they needed to a lot earlier. And now they're being punished really hard for it, as IG have already gotten multiple kills. They gave their Centaur a really, really good start. The bright side for MVP is that both of their solos are actually doing very well in terms of overall farm. Like the DP's highest CS right now at 37, and the Clockwork's at 34, but the DP ulti doesn't really come online until level 11, and QO's not going to be there for quite some time.
Earlier, Venge had a bottle and had a bounty rune in it. Oh, Clockwork Hook's going to come through in the mid lane. Nicely done. Well, nice toss back out. They need another Crypt Swarm, and I think he's going to be stuck in there. QO taking a ton of tower damage. Meanwhile, Stampede into a Hoof Stomp on the bottom lane. Hayne going to take another Torrent. Another easy kill. Looking a little bit reminiscent like game 1, but at least it's not as accelerated of a killing pace for IG.
This is certainly, like, MVP just getting that kill on Ferrari is certainly what they needed. Like, this Batrider didn't actually have a good time in the lane just because the Lich was there. So you have slowed down this blink, but as Andy mentioned, you will eventually get it. And, you know, they need to kind of focus, I believe, on just making that Batrider's life as hard as possible, because otherwise the game will just will leave them. And when you get level 6 on the Venge, those kind of Clockwork ganks, they ain't going to work. You know, you will get swapped out, and that's why the Venge was picked up here to kind of counter the Clockwork initiations.
Oh, no, CM.
I don't think they saw each other. Oh, Ferrari going in.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to get the stun on QO. Did they have a ward there?
No,
that was IG's ward. Never mind.
Yeah. IG has wards everywhere, and Stampede not up for about 25 more seconds.
March is still top, isn't he, on the Clockwork? Yeah. And the Batrider's gone to jungle. Is anyone stacked for the Batrider, or is he doing it himself?
He was doing
now?
it for himself, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Shespug and Chuan have been playing aggressive the whole game, so they haven't had time to really do any jungle stacking. But again, they're content to leave him alone. It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. We're pretty much holding 2 lanes.
They need to do something bottom. March needs to come down here and make something happen. Without March, this is not going to go in their favor. And then they unfortunately don't even have Nova on Raisin. He's actually gone for 2 points into his aura and 2 points into Frostbite.
That is so greedy. Nova gives you so much counter gaming potential.
It's like you just want it for the 1 point just for the slow. Is great, but maybe versus Stampede, it almost doesn't matter now. But we'll see. They are down here. March is still farming. He's actually looking for June in the jungle, it looks like, or just checking over by the room.
There's no way. No. He can just Firefly out of the cogs. But if he gets a good counter gank on bottom, the thing is, he has to be the buffer for his team, because if the Centaur ulti is used before cogs are down, it doesn't, like, nothing he does is going to matter, basically. Because if you don't get a hook shot that interrupts the chain stun, then some hero is going to die, more or less. He is the only counter initiation on the side of MVP, and only initiation.
This is nice for MVP. Death Prophet actually moving top, not into the trap that IG is setting, and he will be able to pick himself up a rune, and he will get a regen for his time. So whether or not the Invictus Gaming are going to stay there and try and make something happen, yet to be seen. But no, it looks like they're going to set their efforts bottom, and this could go bad. This really, if MVP are going to take a fight, it's against these 3 with March coming down. But no, they're just going to farm out the jungle a little bit.
Hey, why not?
I think
that's Luo's Blink Dagger that they just secured right there. So now, I mean, this is probably worst case scenario for MVP, is Luo having a Blink and Stampede, and they're going to try to defend a tier 1. Like, this is ideal situation for IG. They have exactly what they need. As soon as the courier gets there, they're just going to go ham. Like, they don't care about the tower. They're just going to dive.
Yeah.
Does Clock have a TP?
March.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Okay.
But the thing is, if he's not there before the fight starts, a hero will die before he TPs.
Yeah. I think he'll TP into his death as well.
What's Hen got now? Is he on 3 points of corrosive skin? No, he's going to go for 1 Nether Toxin.
Well, you kind of need the second point and the poison attack too, just for the chasing potential. Because once you get a kill, right, like you want to be able to punish more.
Well, you see them coming, but there's nothing you can do about it. Keen's dead. Reason's gonna be dead. Clockwork barely TPs in. No, that's not QQ. Clock needs to get like 3 kills here. There's a rocket. It scouts out 1. CH is trying to bottle himself up. Where's the Mio backline here? Oh, tossed back into the creeps. Crypt Swarm's gonna get 1 kill, and now Clock chasing for 430, but he's already used his hook shot.
He can kill him.
Easy kill. Yep. Thank you very much.
Yep. So it's really important for MVP to
Oh no, CM. Oh no, CM.
This is not where you want to be.
Does he have mana? Toss back? Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Look at that 1 toss. Took Reason's half of his health.
He's a goner.
Radiant's top tower.
Okay, they're like saying who could take this kill, and looks like Ferrari's gonna take it.
And the blink on the Batrider now.
Also, I think if you're Ferrari, you just go straight blink here, right? Like, forget about Aghanims.
Well, they're expending quite a bit here to kill Shespug, and they might be able to do it, but I don't really think it's worth really popping axes. And now QO is going to drop here. The double edge under the tower. No creeps to even tank the auto attacks from it.
If they didn't take the DP down to bottom tower, they would have taken the mid tower, right?
Yes.
With his ulti, because the mid tower's pretty low.
Probably.
They also just needed March, and March, because he TP'd in second, had such a long TP in comparison that he wasn't able to get the hookshot target, which in my opinion was just the Venge. Like, clean up the Venge and then have a chance of maybe being able to chase on to the hero next to him.
Yeah, but just go for a kill.
Yeah, we got double braces now on March, and
the desperation braces.
Yeah, with 2 blink daggers on the side of Invictus Gaming, this could be going in a similar fashion. It won't be over in 15 minutes though.
The thing is, like, MVP actually, I believe, had a draft that could have contested IG in this game. But because they didn't adapt to the laning phase, they put themselves so far behind.
I agree with you. I would have been very okay with just having Crystal Maiden and Lich, because they actually do very well in lanes. Like Lich especially, but CM, it's like you can underestimate a CM. If you're not able to attack a CM in lane, it's not the right-click damage, obviously, because I got nerfed the base intellect, but just having a Nova and a Frostbite.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. A Nova that hits 2 people, followed up by, you know, Lich, and then Viper, even with level, like, even if you don't want to do, if you just want to go Never Toxin and actually just get the bonus damage when they're low, you know, that could maybe work out okay.
I mean, the thing is, and this is just like,
but they would have killed the DP so much.
Well, they might have killed the DP, but the thing is, the DP only really needs to be able to, like, get to level 6 and 7 and be able to spam out the waves all the time. So think of it like playing Shadow Fiend, right? Like once you get to that level where you can like spam the wave once and you can just go back and sit at your tower, it automatically becomes a lot harder. And all your supports have to do at that point is carry TPs. Because even if the DP dies, they're likely have to commit so hard that you can get a counter kill at the very least, especially with those types of heroes like CM, Slow, and Bite, and a Nova. And you probably have a support kill just because of that, if they dive, right?
What would have happened in the top lane, though? Batrider would have beat out Clock.
Yeah, of course. He would have beat him really hard. But the thing is, he would have still been able to get EXP as long as he didn't let himself get napalm stacked too much. And in reality, all you need is March to be able to do is hookshot and Cog. That's it.
Picking another target that might be hard to kill here is June for March.
He's in such a good position.
You know, it's like last time March chose a target, it was Ferrari's Tiny that wasn't able to get the kill, and they will start. They need to lock him in position. They will be able to do so. So that is a kill.
They need to run now.
He's coming in. Nope, it's going to get cancelled.
And that pretty much just says that they're sacrificing the tower, more or less. Like, they're not going to defend this. QO does not have his ulti, though. Bottom lane, they're going to just be pushing in really hard. Going to just trade 1 for 1, I guess, which is fine.
Hey, man, when you're trading against a DP, why not?
Oh, Ferrari just getting another solo kill on Ferev. Had a haste rune.
What's his item now? Do you guys think he should go Blink? And he has a Blink, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. Like, honestly, if you partner a Blink Tiny with a Blink Centaur, not a hero on MVP will live through that. Like, I mean, maybe March will, but with, like, no HP, more or less.
Is he dead? Avatar?
No, I don't think he dies to that straight away, but he probably will.
He could orb walk.
Oh, no, he can kill him, actually.
Yeah, he could.
The ults. He doesn't have it, though.
The jukes around the trees, the slow, one more hit's gonna do it. Toss. Here comes Kyo, though. They should get this counter kill. I say that, but here comes June. March is trying to do whatever he can. Ferrari juking in the poison from the creeps, adding a bit of slow. They get one more kill on top of that. Reason's gonna come in, but he's gonna die to the Centaur as well as the fire. Blink in. No, the stomp gets actually Reason. Reason's gonna die to the fire. The torrent, not even necessary. March gonna die. Kyo gets a counter kill. The bolt, X torrent bolt, bang, everything hits. Kyo's dead. That's a big trade. I think MVP still got a ton of experience because they're so far behind, but oh no, they're gonna lose for F as well.
Yeah, that was not ideal, honestly. Like, the unfortunate part is that when the Batrider blinked in,
Chain Frost?
All right.
No bounce.
Didn't bounce, and now Forev's very, very dead.
Well,
actually misses. He might be okay. She's supposed to be in some trouble here, trying to TP out of the Viper ulti, but the Frostbite's there. Will be a support kill. Forev secures it with another Ice Blast.
Can we see the teamfight recap? Like, I want to see how much gold they're actually getting for these, like... Okay,
so it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like 500 gold, 700 EXP. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out that that fight would have went so much better for IG if the Bat had actually seen March fast enough to lasso him instead of the DP, because he got battery assault off, and if he had pulled him away, it would have been an easy Ferrari getting out of that, no problem, because he had a blink dagger. So all things considered, still pretty good for MVP, getting a little bit of extra gold and EXP. And again, it just shows that their draft can fight. Yeah. It's just a matter of they put themselves in an awkward spot.
They need Towers MVP now, because the Death Prophet has Yule Scepter, which is a really good item, but unfortunately, it's not exactly it's going to get you a huge amount of, like, almost survivability versus this lineup, I would say. It's like, yeah, you got the Yules, but against 3 blink daggers, you will be going down. So you need some additional income, and the only way to get that is the 2 tier 1 towers.
March is dead. Toss back into Hoof-Stomp.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's like an alley-oop for IG, and, well, they don't lose any hero. Lasso's going to come in against Reason, and he should be easily taken down as well. Well, actually, they leave him alone. No, the entire team runs back in. They get the kill. They want to chase for a little bit more. They see Lich, and Ferrari's almost playing with him. He's waiting for his cooldowns. He's going to have another toss back, but Double Edge is going to seal the deal.
But the Death Prophet's doing the right thing here. Death Prophet's on the bottom lane, just trying to push the towers. It's like, this fight is, you know, it goes bad, but if you're in a pub game, you're like, yo, don't fight, team, because this is what you need to do with the Death Prophet.
But they got dove between their tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah, but if they were all together and having a happy family time, they might have been able to get a counter kill, which, you know, would have almost been acceptable. But the Death Prophet needs items on top of that Yules, and the only way to get them is safe farm. And you know, you sacked your team to get some farm, but didn't even take the tower. He does have ultimate available now. It was on cooldown when he was pushing, and he's picked up an Ogre Club as well. So heading towards that BKB.
Yeah, and you can tell that IG want to end the game with their item choices sooner rather than later. Like Vanguard, Drum's Blink, like. It's not what I would call super inventory efficient builds by any means, right? Because you're making like mid-range cost items. So to me, it really feels like IG just feel like they have a huge advantage, which...
Ferrari will be fine here.
Oh.
He's just going to
miss.
smoke.
I'm surprised he didn't toss back to his ally. The hook shot actually missed, I think.
Is there a boat?
No, the Chain Frost is actually bouncing. They get one kill, but March is kind of stuck there. He needs to run. The boat's going to hit, but there's no follow-up.
I don't think they should follow up IG on this. Yeah. They should back off. That's nice. They get the kill.
I mean, that was really fortuitous timing, though. Like, that's one of the only ways they could take a team fight. And again, it was all about March because he was there with the cogs that separated the rest of the team from the Centaur. And even if you pop the Centaur ulti, it doesn't matter because you have no way of breaking the cogs. You have three heroes that can't actually break cogs because they're melee, a Bat and Avenge, which don't have great range, and it was uphill. So that was like the perfect spot to fight for MVP.
So they might not need to pop the ultimate here of the Death Prophet of QO, but maybe they should have to prevent this from happening. He's got a Yules. He is going to Yule himself up. The cogs, again, maybe going to be the MVP of this fight as they separate the rest of the team being able to follow him up. And they do get a kill on the Bat Rider, and also T-Spike is going to go down. So 2 kills, no Death Prophet ultimate used.
CM freezes a Tiny to prevent the team from being blinked upon, but CM's going to die as a result. Meanwhile, Centaur came in, and March, he needs to fight this. The Cog's doing some work, but 430 comes in, tosses a creep into the wave, but Kyo's getting a lot of health after that one. The bolt does shoot Kyo, but the ghosts are flying about, and, well, Luo, he's going to die. How is Regis still alive in all of this? I'm not too sure. Chuan's going to be dead as well, because Yules is back up. In fact, he doesn't even need to use it. 430, did he buy back for this?
He did?
I think he did. He's going to try to Avatar, but the Yules, he saves him. Wow, Kyo's playing out of his mind right now. 430, he's not going to get chased down, but that's a huge win for MVP.
Imagine if QO died for the initial, from the initiation and March didn't actually separate the team with his cogs, because he actually ran away and got a regen rune.
Oh, yeah. I see.
He was on like 20% HP, ran away, got a regen rune, and was like confident enough to run back in with his ultimate up. So really, really nice team fight there from MVP, and they show signs of life. And this Death Prophet can get out of control, but not for the moment, as June will pick him up. And okay, yeah, when you, he's dead.
He's got 11 wand, uses it. Nova, earn.
Close.
Did everything possible, but it was just not enough.
Well, the nice thing is, actually, for Kyo is that he had a BKB finish before he died. Ferry's going to be chasing here onto Ryzen, and that should be a pretty free kill. He's going to engage. Not sure if that's the best idea. He's going to get one more stun off, and the flame break from long distance actually knocked him to the low ground. June really wants that kill. They're going to be trading Sheathbug for Ryzen right now. March has a battery assault on. Cross blast coming in, and the chain torrent, and the boat coming in from Chuan. March going to get hit by the boat. That's one more kill going the way of IG. He doesn't have any mana. He didn't have any earn charges either. He's going to be dying. So in the end, it was ending up being a 4-for-1.
What's the Viper doing this whole time?
Farming.
He's pretending to be Death Prophet, except he's not.
Identity crisis.
You know, earlier you were saying that the Yules might not do so much unless you have a lot of health. I feel BKB fulfills a similar role because there's so many Blink, the Blink Lasso, Blink Stomp, that you might not even get your BKB off.
Well,
yeah, but you're not going to take like the dangerous combos of like, you know, the stun, avalanche. So,
I think Heen's dead here, maybe. Oh, no, they know.
People TPing. They can actually turn this.
Yeah, they will.
He's got a mech too. Hook shot in the back line. Separates again. Once again, IG from the rest of their backup. And now it looks like Sheathbug's actually going to be going down here. Heen tower diving. Well, it's his tower, but Luo dying under the tier 1. Lasso up to the high ground.
BKB uses it right now, and he's going to try to turn things around June. He's running left, running right. He's flying up. Is there any way to catch him? Nope. There's nothing. Hook shot's already used. So there's that fight.
Yeah, but the nice thing is actually about that is even though they lost the core and the support, they had to pop DP ulti just to fend off the fight. So they might be able to regroup and defend this tower. There's another boat up.
DD. He's going to go for Heen.
That's a lot of Avatar's target. It misses like on everybody. He's just dead. The boat's going to come in though. That misses as well. March gets a little bit hit, but here we go. Wow, what a force that forward. Chuan gets juked to the left, and I think Chuan's dead as well. Venge gets missile up in the air. Chuan going to throw out one more torrent that won't hit on anything. It seems like IG is really getting turnabout, and you got to imagine they're making so much golden experience thanks to the comeback mechanics.
IG considered they already won the game, and they're just playing like idiots right now.
All right, so do we say DDZ or 322?
Dire's structures are
DDZ, man. Or maybe Lance.
Maybe Lance.
Lance doesn't have the same rings.
No, but that fight made no sense. Like
they should have. Like, okay, go on, you go.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
He blinked into a full creep wave with the hopes of his toss hitting QO. His stun almost missed. And there was like no way that combo was going to kill. And Chuan was nowhere near being able to follow up. You saw by like the torrent bow timing that he wasn't even in range. Like that was just a very suboptimal engagement. And he went in when the DP ulti was still active. They could have just as easily waited another 10 seconds,
but
and it would have been fine.
They literally just think the game's over, and it almost looks like they're fucking around, because if IG wanted to win this game from this position, they would just basically be farming their Tiny on lanes and have the rest of their team stop anybody from getting any farm with your blink initiations. You know, in terms of like, you can very safely use, you know, the Bat Rider, the Centaur, the Vengeance, and the Kunkka to pick anyone off that you want, and you can control the map. You can get a gem on your Bat Rider, you were so far ahead. You know, you can, and they're literally just like, yeah, we can kill anybody, and they take the initiation in front of the tier 1, but it's like Viper with a mech, that ain't an easy kill. The Clockwork was in position to disrupt the fight again, and even a Hood now. Yeah. On the, or Cloak, sorry, on the Viper, and then the Death Prophet, it's like, if you're not killing it, you know, it's going to do a lot of damage. So it's really stupid fights from Invictus Gaming. So they've given away a lot. It kind of doesn't necessarily even the playing field.
It certainly does, actually.
Yeah, okay, it does.
Yeah, because with all the gold that MVP's got, they got so much like health items. Yeah. Look at all those like health boosters, bracers, drums, BKBs.
Oh,
here we go. We're going to see yet another fight. March is looking for the hook.
They can lose this. Yeah, I think they're going to sack.
Well, CH, well, nice 4-stab, but nice another 4-stab. This one even better. CH going to be dead. Forev gets dragged out, but you want your CM to be lasso because you don't want anybody else. And actually, excuse me, and Reason gets picked up by Yules. He's dead, right? No, nice 4-stab.
Yeah, he should be okay.
That's probably
March
a very...
does not have a hook right now. Oh, he's TPing on the high ground? What? Why? I don't know why you would try that, actually. That was like...
So, Chuan was actually TPing out of that fight when June engaged. The whole TeamSpeak server has gone down for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, IG are not communicating well right now at all. And the other thing is, again, like I mentioned earlier, they went for very mid-game items. Like this Tiny, with these items, like 10 minutes ago, he was scary, right? Now it's like, yeah, okay, you combo and it does like 700, 600 damage. And bottom lane
is the scariest hero in the whole game right now.
Yeah.
Like, by far. Like, this DP is like, you have to be very careful how you're going to initiate.
IG basically have to get an engagement where they open up on a hero and the boat buff hits their team if they want to fight with Exorcism, because that's the only way they're going to be able to mitigate that amount of damage. Otherwise, the BKB on QO is still pretty long. And then by the time it wears off, like, you're probably just, the fight's over at that point. Like, you've taken way too much damage.
No, it's not to say that IG still can't win this game, right? Reason couldn't get Avatars. I mean, I think you could slow this game down, like James said. Just farm your timing now, get an Aghanims. The Roshan's still open to you. You have so much damage, you have so much pick-off that you get a free pick-off, and now you just go to Rosh. You could slow the game down, and IG still has the kind of the ultra carry in terms of Tiny.
How close are we to an Ags on the Viper? Because that's something that is actually going to matter a lot.
Is he going Ags though, or is he going BKB?
Because I would like an Ags. I wouldn't want to.
I think both are good, but if you get double BKB, that means that every time you pop DP ulti, you can take a fight and you can kill a tower. Okay, that's kind of what the strength of it gives you. So, I mean, I think the Aghanims would have just been almost as good. But when you realize that you've kind of come back into the game like this, you buy BKB to win fights and ensure that you're going to be able to get objectives like tier 2s, which are still kind of hard to push into for MVP. Plus, if they win one more good fight, it opens up Roshan as well.
Well, I mean, my idea for Aghanims would have been more along the lines of you're not that scared anymore of, for example, some of the damage output if you have that much HP, because like March is doing a great job. QO on his Death Prophet is overly scary, so you're not almost like the threat. So if you get an Aghanims, you shut down the Tiny like completely in the team fights, and you can shut down another person in the team fights as well, like the Centaur. So
I think he'll get one still. I think it'll just be after BKB. They're going to find a lasso here on 4F. Should be a pretty easy kill. No one on the side of MVP in the vicinity to help him out.
At least not yet. Clockwork is coming in fast.
He's not even close.
Okay.
He's super fast. What's his movement speed? We need to know.
Like 360.
He's like 300, I think, normally, right? So yeah, 365 which hits.
Here comes a little fight on the mid lane. Are they thinking about pushing the tower? That's a Venge me. He can Venge could swap himself out. Oh, no swap just yet because he... Wow, that damage from the ghost.
That's level 16 Exorcism, man.
You know, if you look at the Venge's level, she's level 8.
Yeah, what happened? They haven't won any team fights. That's the thing. Like, they were winning the laning phase, but when you only kill one hero and you split the experience 3 ways, it's still not that good. So when you start taking team fights and you throw like that, you're giving away a lot more experience when your cores die, you know?
I mean, that tower is dead, right?
I don't know if it's dead.
They need a boat.
Tower is under attack.
But they need to also
Yeah,
stand on top of March to be able to initiate it. Yeah, they're going to chase. Ooh.
I mean, the Tiny has quite a bit of HP, but it's very easy to kite that hero. If the Centaur ulti is down and you haven't killed the hero yet, I think IG could be in some serious trouble.
Oh, the clockwork hook blocked by the Viper. Two-man hoof stomp. The boat's gonna fly out. The chain thrust is gonna get tossed, but everybody's so tanky thanks to that boat. Tiny in the middle of everything. He is not attacking thanks to the Viper ult. And the Crimson Guard's gonna come on as well. Nobody's dying just yet. Chuan trying to fight against the Viper. Looks like Viper is gonna die to that X-Torrent marks the spot. Luo very low, but no damage being dealt to him just right now. Two support finally get the kill, and the tracing on CH. And CH maybe level 9 now, but still gonna go down as a result. Another team fight being won. And I gotta check Exorcism cooldown because can they come back in and maybe push another tower? Maybe not, because Forev's gonna die as a result thanks to Batrider blinking in. Nice pick-off kills from IG here and there, but here comes Q.
They might have another hook shot soon. No, he's gonna be able to TP away. No vision.
So MVP traded a fight that I think somewhat went in their favor, slightly. Like,
considering there was no exorcism,
yeah,
that fight went surprisingly well.
Yeah. And the clockwork hook
and the clockwork hook shot hitting Viper at the start, and then caused a two-man boat to be hit by Chuan. So Chuan's actually going to be picking up a Chrysalis after his 4th staff.
Oh my
He's like,
God.
guys, we need damage.
Yeah. You know, this reminded me of a game where it was IG versus LGD International, and they got turtle in their base for like 30 minutes, and nobody was getting farm, and Chuan was playing support tree at the point, and he got so angry on his team, so he's just like bottom Midas on his tree. I was like, all right, I'm gonna carry now. And then they lost the game in the next 5 minutes. But it feels like IG and Chuan is on tilt right now, because you start a game very well, you start throwing really hard, and you just like lose sight of what you need to do. Because what does really IG need to do right now? Do they slow down farm, or do they keep fighting?
They need to push out the lanes. Keep the lanes as pushed out as possible, and then just make sure that they can pick off like targets support-wise in terms of the Lich, the Crystal Maiden. But even the Crystal Maiden's like almost at 1,200 HP. Like all the early bracers and like drums that the team have bought is really nice. And the Death Prophet can still set the pace of the game. Like, DP is strong enough at this point of the game that you can stand in the creep wave like this, you can actually stand in front of a tier 3 tower and be okay with being initiated on. Like, look, you're just going to be like, yep, like, you know, and this is the painful part. So how are you going to initiate into this?
Here we go. Blastu is going to come from the Batrider.
Centaur War Run.
Oh, they're trying to chain stun her, but she's got a ton of health. She actually does die. No, the Yule Scepter comes on, and she is going to try to run herself out there. No running. March is going to be dead next, and so is Reason. They're going to try to get themselves out. Reason throws a Sudoku ultimate. Not going to be there. Heen's going to be dead. That's a team wipe. Okay, so maybe he can't stand in front like that.
Well, I didn't even think they used the War Run. Is that what it's called? War Run?
Stampede.
Stampede. Yeah. I don't know what I call it, but yeah.
I think they did. It's just the thing is, when you get initiated on like that, you need. I even think it would have been better for March to just suicide in so they can kill the tower. Like just hook shot and stay there and die, get the tower, and then your team runs.
Yeah. Do they have a 4-staff across the board? I think
they have one at Clock.
Yeah, Clock has one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I mean, these items are fantastic in terms of being able to save your DP when DKB's off. Just 4-staffing her away, because you've got a heart, you'll be able to heal her like immensely. But nice defense from Invictus Gaming. Does certainly put the fear into MVP in terms of what are they going to do next. But I would just force it again. I really would. I would go mid again with the DP and be like, right, next time, March, you're going to initiate and stop this from happening.
I think there's been a lot of overconfidence in this game, first from IG, then for MVP. Like, considering Roshan was still alive, they could have very easily taken a fight around there. If you imagine the dynamic of how a team fight would normally go, if you're not fighting uphill into your opponent's base, March is able to start the fight by hookshotting, right? But starting the fight by hookshotting in the base is not really that much of an option, because you pretty much just sacrifice yourself, more or less, to get base damage.
That's cool.
Which, in a way, is fine, but taking the fight around Roche would have been significantly easier, because it actually allows March to do that without signing his own death warrant.
I mean, I wouldn't say significantly easier, because you're fighting against a Batrider with Firefly vision around the pit.
Well, he also had a BKB as soon as they defended the base, which basically meant that there's no more Frostbite counter initiation, and there's no more Lich being able to stop it.
BKB after the base defense, I think.
No. He BKB'd.
He BKB'd when he went in.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's just not the bat, though. Like, there's 3 ways to initiate for IG. You could swap You could bat, and that's probably the best one.
This is round 2, boys.
You could even just use a Tiny to jump in and toss the Death Prophet back to his team. That's like kind of YOLO play, but we've seen how YOLO the Tiny has been.
All right, Sack, March, and Heen.
Where is March right now?
March is there with him, but March just needs to like send in some flares.
He needs to YOLO.
And he needs to YOLO. And also Heen as well.
Crimson Guard's up this time. Here we go. Round
just
2.
Hit the racks.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing on QO. Burst him down.
Racks.
Can he activate BKB? There's a yield. He needs to get BKB up right there. BKB's up. He's at a quarter health. That's actually not that bad. And the ghosts are flying by. Finally, the glyph is going to come on, and everybody's actually dead. Well, Heen is actually okay. And I think the ghosts are silently doing enough damage to the racks.
Well, they get the range racks, but I think they're going to get chased here. Lewis still has a Blink Dagger. They might be able to get Heen at the very least. No, they decide not to chase.
Okay, well, even though they got initiated on,
that wasn't so bad. And
March
again,
did sacrifice himself.
They sacrificed March for racks. Worth.
It's just a range rack, so they kind of have to go back again.
Well, there was also a glyph.
Yeah.
So, all things considered, I would be really surprised to see QO walk up the hill like that a 3rd time. That's all I'm saying.
Do it.
Like, if you're going to pop your ulti,
I think he's going to do it.
At the very least, let Heen and March go in front of you.
That's what I wanted. Like, the weird thing was, it wasn't so much March, it was Heen. Like, Heen actually was way behind and then just ended up chasing to join the fight. And I felt that Heen could have just been like, yeah, fuck this, I'm going to hit the Rex. I do damage.
Yeah.
Because I would have been okay to lose your DP and then at least get the racks and get out with the rest of you. And then, you know, do something again. But this Tiny, by the way, is getting really scary now with the Assault Cuirass. So you can't, or it's almost like maybe you can't even afford a team wipe in their base and you actually do have to trade. Because if you, let's say you took both racks and you actually just got wiped, which is what they could have done the first time round.
Still a win for IG, I think.
It's still a win for IG, yeah. Just because of the Tiny. Because once those items become unbearable for the Death Prophet and the Viper to be able to sustain against, Ferrari wins the game late. So IG still have an easy road to victory, in my opinion.
Well, hopefully,
maybe not easy, but
I think it's easy.
It depends on execution. Like, if MVP are able to racks and don't get punished for it, then I still think the game is hard for IG, but I understand where you're coming from with like the inevitability of the Tiny and the Centaur team, especially with a Kunkka support who's actually going dayless.
2 lanes of racks I don't think matters too much.
No, you have to make it or you have to throw them, for sure.
If you get wiped getting the racks, which is what I think is going to have to happen, like you will have to give up a lot of you know, lives to get these melee racks. And
I actually don't think Tiny is going to be that big of trouble yet. If you put a Viper Strike on him every fight, like what is it actually going to do?
Going to mantra it off before it gets there.
Well, the thing is,
he needs to first.
In order for him to actually be useless, he needs to be inside of cogs. That's.
Well, no, he could actually cleave on the cog and hit people.
He's got a blink, man. He can actually just run in behind, like just blink behind when the fight starts.
Yeah, and the blink or the stampede.
Here we go. This is big for MVP.
But nope, Ferrari needs to get Viper Strike. Like you cannot Viper Strike anybody else.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's still,
I concur, Lumi.
I don't know. I think MVP can still do it. It's not easy, but if they play it well.
I think they should weigh out the Aegis as well.
Well, they should kill the tier 2 bottom. That's what they should do.
I think they should stand high ground above the secret shop and just wait there with March until the enemy leaves the base and try and kill somebody. That's the oldest trick in the book. It works every time.
The old fake back, the complexity reach around.
Have they got a smoke on them? Apparently, yes. Yeah, if they can get a pick, that opens up the possibility for a win here.
Yeah, why is March?
They smoked under a ward though, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Did that ward see them?
That's yeah.
And why is March not leading the charge?
Fine.
Well, Heen and Ryzen are in front. That's still okay. Like, as long as his QO is not the one just immediately getting lassoed every time, because June's been on point with his reactions. Like, as soon as he sees him, he's like, boom, in.
Well, right now, Aegis is expired, so MVP is going to try to take this timing.
I say you YOLO hookshot on anybody. And then you 4-staff out.
I think if you hit the Tiny or the Centaur, it's okay to YOLO.
Here you go.
Oh, this is actually a good situation.
That's nice.
Oh, what a call! June, get out of there! The Yu's already used, but they kind of clumped up. Where's the bolt? There's nothing just used yet. Viper Strike going on June, so Tiny is actually freed up. Here comes the lasso going on March. He's being the noble sacrifice again. Chain Frost coming in, and, well, I think got the racks already. Everybody just go home, man. The bolt's gonna come to crit, the cleave, and they need to go. Just go home. You got the racks, you lost March. It's okay. Everybody sign up for this. Maybe except March. he's gonna die as a result, but that's still okay,
That's
right?
great.
You traded 2 for a Rex.
I like this. If they get out with everyone else, that's a big win.
Yeah.
It's a huge win. And I really like that Heen actually went to the left on his Viper when he left the base. Actually, so they chased him. They wouldn't actually be just following the same direction as everyone else. And of course, with that Yule Scepter, this is a very fast Death Prophet. But preemptive cogs, in my opinion, that wasn't a reaction to June. That was just preemptive.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, you just literally throw down the cogs in that situation, knowing that your DP's behind him. So if you're going to blink over him, you're going to get pushed. One way or the other, and then the Yules coming in on top was really nice from QO. So MVP had a much better game plan than we had at the panel here.
Well,
what's our game plan? Run him
Our
again?
game plan was YOLO.
Okay.
Right?
Well, yeah, but that's still kind of what they did. They just YOLO'd in a better way.
That was really well positioned, and that was fucking awesome. Well, that's like YOLO would have been shoot a flare.
Also remember that I'm pretty sure June didn't BKB when he went in.
Yes, that's
so
the problem.
Got cog bounce.
Yes, if he BKB'd and then
BKB before you blink.
Yeah, but even if he BKB'd, the Yules might have still come off.
I don't know. It's very hard on 250 ping to Yules a blink bat.
Yeah, MVP is playing on Perfect World, which means they are lagging.
That's why it was all preemptive. The cogs, the Yules was preemptive. They were so
no, it was a really good play for sure, but it also relied on him not BKBing, which he didn't. So it's a really simple, like, mechanical mistake that he made that would have just as easily put the fight the same way the last few have been going for IG, which is we kill a lot of you every time you come to our base.
All right, fair enough, Andy. You've told me. I've unsubscribed from June's calendar.
By the way, do you guys think that March should actually have gone for? Okay, well, he hooks. And he cogs.
He scores.
This is a really weird...
It's like a slow fight. Nobody's killing each other. March is still quite a tanky, but does he have force? No, he's on cooldown. He's dead.
1 second. Right,
Safe Frost is coming in. Do you guys think that he should have gone for a pipe instead of Crimson? Because I feel like there's much more magical damage than physical. At least when he got the Crimson, like 10 minutes ago.
Well, when he got the Crimson, it was still very strong.
Okay, this is not the fight you should take. March is already dead. The sacrifice is gone. Nice force staff. What a play. The BKB's going to come out, but...
They can win this. Chase.
Well,
they need to chase.
The Viper's not there, though.
They need something to hold them in place so the Ghost would do damage.
Yeah, but they're chasing one person.
They might be able to get to tier 2 with that.
I would back and try and secure a Roche.
Yeah, but they know there's no lasso and no boat and no stampede. No, they won't glyph it tier 2.
Yeah, IG won't not
Dire's
glyph
bottom
this.
tower is under attack.
I'd glyph it, Bruno.
Thank you.
No, they can't even push.
Yeah, see?
GG.
MVP.
These force staff plays, though.
Yeah, that was reason, I think. Maybe 4A. I think it was reason. I think you went for a 4 staff. The Crystal Maiden. We can check. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 stats galore. It's really good against chain stun. This is actually
Amazing for your
very...
Death Prophet. That's mentioned. I think we mentioned that earlier. It's like if you can get 4 staffs, you can save your DP.
What?
Viper strike. Oh, there's a fight in the middle as well. Oh, he got out of there.
He's so fast.
He enforced about his own BKB.
Well, Luo's not very
He
fast.
is so slow.
Chain Frost?
Is TPing away?
Chain on CD. Meanwhile, 430 fighting against March. March sort of tanky thanks to that Crimson card. And now they're going to go 430. 430, he's dead. Does he have buyback?
Yeah, he does.
We'll have to Savannah here.
He most certainly does. Well, if they don't have exorcism yet,
Does he have buyback?
I'm pretty sure
he's
he
got
does.
4K gold,
He's got 4,300 gold.
Did you see the golden?
And he was also the
Yeah, the golden outline on the number is showing that he has buyback.
Wait. Say that again.
Like if you see the resurrection timer,
yeah,
the
the
gold
little
outline
gold
says that he has
thing.
buyout. Yeah.
So obvious to understand, isn't it? Really.
Not really. I didn't know until like
I know, right?
I didn't know until like a month ago. I was like, wait, what?
I didn't know that till now.
How long until?
I just press I on my keyboard and check for buyback.
Give or take.
I'm the least commentator.
I don't think you'd have the damage to take Roche without
DPL.
Dire's
yeah.
bottom tower
So I don't
has
think it's really an
fallen.
option. I'm not
They're
sure.
going to go and force that buyback.
Yeah, it's
You just
definitely
force a
worth the
buyback and you
buyback.
run like hell, right?
I mean, even better if they're forced to glyph, actually.
Well, they're actually going to fight. They use the Yules offensively. Never really advised this. And here comes the Torrent. They're actually going to drag Kyo back here. Forev's going to force that himself out. Centaur blinking about, but not really getting any kill. And, well, Luo's got this BKB on. They're really committing a lot on this Centaur, and nobody's killing him. Meanwhile, Kyo's like, team guys, where are you? You're killing a Centaur, and I'm dead. And that's not even a victory. Now run, guys. Run, please.
Yeah, and he also has buy. Now they're going to continue chase here. Keen going to eat an X into a Torrent. No BKBs, not going to get pulled back. Ryzen getting chased down by June, who is currently Fireflied, and they're going to continue chasing, man. They got mass blinks. There's no way they're stopping. Looks like Keen's going to end up dropping here.
This is Roche as well.
Yeah, this is not such great timing as
If
Roche
they
and
take
spawn.
Roche now and just push out the mid lane, I think they can take fights on their terms. They've got a Daedalus on Kunkka. The Tiny didn't die there, right?
No.
So the Tiny will be able to pick up.
He was dead, had to buy back.
Aegis. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like if they take this, that's I think it's going to be over.
I think they just missed like a huge opportunity when Tiny was dead, and they like try to chase in for a venge kill.
Well, I know what they wanted to do, but I think they got a little bit of like the bloodlust, you know? They just wanted to be able to kill. Because if they forced IG to use a glyph there, with DP ulti being so close to being off cooldown, they could have very easily like disengaged and then come back in with no glyph and then try to take the fight from there. And then you know that Ferrari has no buyback and you're fighting with Exorcism. But instead, they knew that QO didn't have ulti, so they're like, okay, we're just going to leave him out to dry, and we'll try to get a kill and hope that maybe Luo doesn't have buyback, which he unfortunately did.
You know what would have been huge in that fight and could have changed the outcome with the actual team fight? If there was an Ags on Viper.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like not having the Ags on Viper in that situation, you could wreck people.
I thought he would get it after his BKB, but he's going pipe.
Yeah. Like I don't think he should have gone pipe, but they could have. They threw it on the Centaur to start with, and then they actually could have been able to throw it on much more people, and they could have focused around the Viper being the useful hero in that fight, but instead it wasn't enough.
I also think that Ags give you the necessary mana to cast your mech, because when you throw in Viper Strikes and Poison Attack, mech does cost quite a bit now. And if you're adding a pipe on top of that...
Well, he's like quite high level. I don't think the mana cost really matters much anymore to him.
Check his mana. I don't believe you.
I think Webos is AFK.
We can't see his mana.
See his mana, he's dead.
I work it out. He's got 54 intelligence times what, 19 or 13?
13.
13. 19 is health.
He's got a lot of mana. I don't really think it matters.
Look, his mech is on cooldown. It's not being used. Maybe he uses it one
He's been dead. I mean, I'm just saying. Mech has a pretty long cooldown.
We should also probably mention that when did these guys play this game? Like today? Probably like what, 2 a.m. their
2
time?
or 3 a.m., yeah.
Yeah, this is 2 a.m. gaming.
I mean, that's like normal game time, though. Like for
I don't know.
For Dota 2 players,
Depends
come on.
what you did this morning. Maybe each one woke up and went running.
To McDonald's, I think.
Hey! Hey!
Jesus.
I thought he likes McDonald's. Does he? Oh, no, it's Bulldog that likes McDonald's.
Oh.
I confused. Sorry, guys.
Man, just straight for the jugular. No hesitation. Just in. You know what? I have to respect that, though.
Keep it for real talk, you know?
Yeah.
No sugarcoat.
It's true. But as far as the game right now, I think we're all kind of on the same page, right? IG have the advantage, more or less.
Yeah. And this
MVP had the advantage. They killed Tiny and they went for a bad play.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, but they're going to lose Roche.
Now IG has the advantage back.
Yeah. But I think what MVP needed to do was force out a glyph, get to Roche, pop DP ulti for Roche, slow down the game, turn up to the enemy base with an Aegis on either your DP or Viper. If Viper had Ags, I'd be very happy to put an ulti, an Aegis on him. Otherwise, I'd put it on DP and just go ham and then try and take it without getting wiped. And if you get 2 lanes of Rax, you still have a chance to take the rest of the game. And I think just this Aegis now on Invictus Gaming, push out middle, and I'm pretty sure the next team fight should go in your favor. And I think this Viper's fallen off completely. Like this Viper is just like, what do you do?
Wouldn't have.
His item progression hasn't necessarily been that threatening to the enemy team, right?
Yeah.
Like there was one stage in the game where having a BKB and a mech makes you tanky enough to where you can still do a reasonable amount of damage and not get blown up. But now he's a kitten and he has no utility. And making a pipe doesn't really help that much, especially when you're 43 minutes into the game.
Like, what do you do now item-wise? Because honestly, you're going to see maybe a Halberd on Raisin. No one, like, I would love to see a Sheep. You know, just, if you can get QO to, like, I think Shiva's is nice, but if you can get a Sheep, that's huge. And it looks like it's going to be on the Lich, but it's going to take too long. Like, it won't matter what you Sheep when the support Kunkka has a Daedalus.
Wait, hold on here. MVP's up at Rax. Who says they can't just, like, hold this for 40 more minutes and just build hexes on everybody?
I mean, if you can get a hex up on like 2 or 3 heroes and you get a refresher on the DP.
Like, for example, is there any reason for them to fight into Aegis like this right now?
Well, they're going to try.
If they get a good silence here on Sean, they can actually make something really good.
Okay, that was insanely slow.
Force that forward. Can he activate his BKB? He still gets lasso. He's out. Still a lot of health. The bolt's going to come out. Torrent's going to hit. I don't think this will matter. He's getting juggled about, and he's going to force that and finally die. And there you go. There's all your damage. And again, was there any reason to actually take that fight?
fight.
Okay, more importantly, even with 250 ping, you should have BKB'd like ages before he did.
And he should have also thrown a
BKB.
silence. If he got a silence on Chuan, they could have actually won that fight. If you look at Hen after this, I just want to see how much, in the fight recap when he dies, I want to see how much damage like he put out on his Viper. Because I'm expecting it to be like one of the lowest numbers across the board.
Well, you also have to remember that the bow from Chuan pretty much hit his whole team.
Yeah. But
so all the damage that he would have done was halved. So I mean, like
he did quite a bit.
2,000.
I think that actually came from corrosive skin and it being applied to over everybody, and not exactly like right click.
Yeah, but look at that compared to everybody over on the team of IG. And
well, they killed everybody. So.
Yeah, well, he wasn't even like involved in getting hit in the boat, right? I don't think he was, but maybe he was. But either way,
I don't.
Kind of sad to see a Viper just not be able to take someone out. But
that was kind of on Qo though. Like,
yeah, Qo didn't react.
Dude, like BKB Shiva's ulti just boom, like straight away, because you know that they're going to engage. They feel confident they have an Aegis. Maybe somehow you can draw out the fight in a way that you wipe everybody else, but Ferrari somehow.
Okay. VP's back soon, guys. Actually.
Yeah, they're gonna maybe lose a Raxi, though.
Okay, that's a big clock, but 438. They need to get out of there. The bolt. Well, actually, they're holding.
Right, yeah.
Wow, they might not even get Raxed.
Rack it on.
Wow. 430 blinks out, respects it. No buybacks were forced. Okay.
March with the plays, and that's a BKB though for Ferrari.
Oh, cool thing to point out, Venge's aura buffs base damage.
Yeah, and Tiny is all base damage.
Yeah, so when you stand next to Tiny, he gains like 90 to 100 extra damage. It's kind of insane.
How big is the aura range?
900, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Venge has blink now. Yeah, I think Qo is going to just get initiated every single time, and there's nothing he can do about
You
it.
build a Lincolns on your Lich,
Man,
and
think
then
of
you
how
put
far
Lincolns
away-
on your...
You have level 3 swap, right, and a blink, and a Bat Rider with a 4 staff. You could actually pull Qo to like the river from their base.
You got a refresher as well on your back.
Yeah, Bat's got blink, refresher, double
How
4
ridiculous
staff,
that would be.
BOT. He really just needed a Mask of Madness.
Stampede.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do
and
if you just had a
Stampede,
ward down and you saw June flying around in your woods by himself, but then, like, sitting near their Ancients is like the rest of the team, and you just get pulled all the way over there? I would probably leave the game.
I just start playing League of Legends.
There you go. It's a new strategy. When you're losing, play League of Legends.
There's a lot of Dota ability that sounds like League of Legends spells.
For example?
Think of Windrun,
It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like it was like similarly designed, isn't it?
Yeah. It's almost
No,
like
no,
they took some guys from Dota, and then
No,
they made
seriously,
another
Jay,
game.
Look at Windrun for a bit, right? It gives you 100% evasion. It gives you max movement speed, and it slows them. It's like, what else it doesn't do? Might as well,
Make
like,
you land shackles?
Why are we talking about Windrun as an ability here?
because it sounds like a League of Legends skill to me. It does too much.
I don't know, man.
Any case.
I don't play enough League of Legends to know what sounds like a League ability and what doesn't.
Trick question, Lumi. Now we know you play League of Legends.
Dude, I'm level 14. I got Flash, man. I'm pro.
And the conversation went nowhere.
Jesus.
All
Let's get
right.
out.
How MVP are going to try and do something here? How are they going to have to make this happen? Because there's Glyph, surely.
They make this happen by not going for it.
Does Ferrari still have Aegis? No, he doesn't, right?
You go for an 80-minute game.
I mean,
You hook shot in with March, and then you instantly force that back out, while your smoked Death Prophet goes down to the bottom lane of Rax and tries to take the tower. And then you fight with your DP against towers, and then you sacrifice the remaining 4 members of your team, and you save up enough gold.
lasso.
Okay, never mind.
Yep, J-Frost's gonna fly out. Aquil's dead. No BKB activated. Actually, Viper Strike. He does get it off, and here comes the ultimate. And he's gonna get lasso again. But look at that Tiny though. He's not really hitting anything just yet. Toss him back up, gets bounced. There's a Yule Scepter. The CMO! Oh my god, he cleaves off the CM, kills Qo. Chuan is hitting everybody. Can he get a crit? He's trying to hit everybody.
Oh my god.
They win the fight. Tiny buys back.
Crystal Maiden, man.
holy
Legit
shit.
late game hero.
Look, when we saw the second pick CM, we're like, oh, this is a joke. Never mind.
That was such an ideal situation for him, though, because
Yeah, he
March
was high
got a
ground.
cog, and they were all sitting around that one area.
Look at the CM damage! Oh my god, CM did more damage than everybody. CM finally OP.
How much gold did the Viper get?
That's 2.6. I think that's Aghanims right
Look
there.
at the experience, though. That's, I mean,
Would you go for Ags now, or would you actually just go for something a little bit more straight up damage.
Well, like he's running into inventory slots issue as well.
I mean, what if you went like Butterfly?
Nah, Butterfly is not enough damage. If you're gonna go damage, you just go like Daedalus.
Or MKB.
Yeah. I mean, Butterfly's
awesome.
It's okay in the sense that you would be tankier, but I don't really think that out-tanking at this point is really the issue. I think it all depends on who gets the better
man,
initiation.
you just need to keep your Crystal Maiden alive.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Is the Crystal Maiden gonna go towards like a BKB?
No, I think she's going all utility items. Like once you finish the Heaven's Halberd, that's already very effective against a Tiny whose BKB I imagine is at what, 5 seconds? So you just drop a Heaven's 9? What happened? Did he not use it a lot?
Well, that's a fresh BKB, dude. Like that was his last item after ages.
Oh, I thought he
Maybe he
got crits
didn't use it that
afterwards.
fight though. I don't know. Maybe he was like, "Fuck it, I'm Viper Strike, give no shit."
Yeah, does BKB even do anything to you, for you? Like maybe I think a Manta is better, right? Like,
Stops. Yeah, that's what I said, man. You get a Manta, you dodge it.
Stop CM salty.
I don't know, man.
If you're buying items for CMs though, I don't know.
All right, Roshan timer. Wepez, where are we at? All right, Wepez, thank you.
Couple minutes. But, I mean, honestly, MVP are doing a pretty good job at staying relevant with the heroes that should potentially be falling off pretty hard. I mean, a lot of that, of course, was due to the huge CMLT, of course, you know, 8 billion damage. But,
I also think that...
Look at how close that Ryzen is to a Hex, or excuse me, Forest.
Yeah.
But you've been online for
Perfect
a while.
world.
Oh, please go to bed.
Get off the computer.
Really? They give you that message?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What?
Hey, Chinese
What does it
people
say
care
up
about
there?
their...
Accumulated online game time.
Oh, look at this.
8 hours.
This is tech, bro. He just farmed a wave and the camp.
How? But
Why
that was
are you
the
so
ability
excited
that let
over
him
that?
win a team fight.
Yeah, I don't know
super
why
hard.
he used it
would he
there.
use it
Like
there?
on a push.
I mean, maybe they just
His
don't plan
team
on
was like,
fighting.
"Bro, wait, we just lost the CML. That's back."
But the whole of MVP need buyback. Really. I don't think it's even worth
Even
investing.
if they have buyback, it doesn't matter.
No, but I don't think it's worth investing into the items that are going to help you in the
Why are
team
they
fight.
going? They don't have CMO. No, seriously, like.
I mean, even if they have buyback for the fight, nobody has bots. And if they were going to defend...
No, just buyback so the Tiny doesn't run down and clear your base before your heroes can get back up.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, if you invest the gold now, I still think it's like you... Like, last team fight, let's just, like, be honest. QO was lucky to survive. And also, Ryzen was maybe not lucky, but somewhat lucky to get such a good ulti off. If those two factors don't happen through, like, double lasso, Chuan's boat, you know... It's like you cannot have a similar fight. So if you invest the items and you lose, I think you're just done.
Yeah.
So you have to save a buyback for a second chance, and they can still have a moment like that. They really can. But they need a sheep stick as well on 4A. Like that's a big item pickup if they can get it. But he's just not getting any farm because.
Well, I think we're approaching to a point where the bolt is actually running out in terms of like the duration. The fights are lasting that long. And when the bolts run out, like you suddenly just lose so much health.
The best thing they can try and do is actually force out a boat and not get hit and disengage and then fight without a boat. If they can.
The thing is, bolt has such low cooldown though.
Yeah, but like
40 seconds.
Even if you,
it's like every
the possibility of it happening is very low.
Oh,
Okay,
wow, this is aggro. Wow, they all force that March, get out of there. Finally, Kyo gets off. What a long swap coming in. March is coming in, tanking everything.
This is going really well for MVP.
Yeah, CH is dead right from the get-go. The Chain Frost's going to follow him.
This is huge.
And look at the ghost.
This is huge.
The spooky ghost is going in every March. He's still running in. He gets the cog off. He's still okay. And Tiny, well, he's not moving because all the Viper Strike Aghanims is now up. And Tiny's not moving. The ghost is driving everybody away.
Get the tower. They need to get the tower now.
Well, the ghost is about to end, right? Oh, the CMO! Man, they're gonna win this game.
I cannot believe.
MVP Phoenix.
I don't know, man. The Tiny's still here. He doesn't have a blink
Viper
dagger,
strike
though.
him again. There you go. What is he doing? He's not moving at all.
He's dead.
He's moving so slowly, like he's moving backwards. He's dead. MVP Phoenix. Nobody ever doubted him. I did it.
March four-staffed himself at the same time as they four-staffed Tiny.
And they
then
cogged.
cogs.
Oh my god.
That was sick. Unbelievable.
They didn't use anybody.
Hero.
Except Viper got off 3 Viper Strike that fight. I'm sure all of it was on Tiny.
Yeah. That's the item that they needed such a long time ago then. Really. But hey. Goodbye, Kyo.
Kyo's fine, right? He's got Yule.
He's pretty tanky.
Yeah, he'd walk it off.
Dire's middle tower.
There you go. That's the Rex.
Man,
That's a throne.
Dire's structures.
that was
are
unexpected.
fortified.
Seriously, though, that was such a good play from March. Like that in itself, like we talked about the whole game. It's like, man, March has to YOLO, and as soon as he YOLO'd, game was easy.
I'm sure that YOLO a lot of other times and failed, but
that was a really good opportunity for him because we talked about how easy it was.
Tiny. You remove the tiny. Like you said, the tiny will be useless if you put him in cogs or you Viper Strike, and he can't move. And that's exactly what they did. And June wasn't able to help in that situation as much as he needed to do. So pretty impressive. Really fun, actually, that game.
that was a good game.
Like, but IG, I have to say, you're through it. Like there was absolutely no reason to lose that
top fight.
Yeah.
That was just dumb.
That was Benny Hill, like just playing in my head
like
the whole
us
time.
playing.
Yeah.
Like we do that shit.
That's like James saying it'll be fun, and then we do that.
That was really fun, though.
Yeah.
It was fun. Maybe not for them because they lost, but
Funny thing is that if you look at the whole game for MVP Phoenix, the only person getting some kind of farm was DP. Like Viper was getting nothing, Clockwork was getting nothing, while IG pretty much farmed the whole map with like all of the 3 cores. They were kind of like all around the DP, just making sure that she didn't get caught up. And the only reason they actually managed to like keep themselves in the game was because of the comeback mechanic gave so much gold to the support and to Viper and Clockwork that even though they were like really behind, at some point they were like 25,000 experience behind, they could just like come out back in the game.
yeah, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that again during the early game, IG prioritized all of their ganks and supports. And
Why are you so blue in the...
I don't know, it's really weird, right?
Yeah, anyway.
But the supports were the ones who were taking the brunt of the ganks. So as soon as team fights start happening and you lose cores instead of supports, the experience that you gain is a lot bigger, right? Like you're losing your safe lane, you're losing your mid on Ferrari, he died a couple of times too. And when the supports are there for that, the experience change is massive because those are the heroes that are worth the most. So I think IG, they could have very easily transitioned what they did in the early game to a win. I'm not saying that they didn't play subpar comparative to what I know they can do.
Right.
But at the very least, their game plan still would have worked, I think, MVP, if they continued playing the same way. It just would have been way harder, you know, if IG still executed.
Yeah, I agree with that. So,
But I want to say, I love the last fights of MVP. Like
I think March and Ryzen were like so even defending the racks.
Yeah.
Like that's racks. Tiny should have taken those racks like when MVP got wiped. And it's just like March and Ryzen by themselves holding against 5.
Yeah.
Not like investing any buyback.
But I loved Ryzen's both his ultis in the last fights. The second one wasn't necessarily designed to like he's thinking he was ever going to get a kill. He was just like, stay away from my team. It was because when they were all slowed, like.
It was actually planned because he did it just after DP cast silence on both the centaur and someone else. Yeah. So he was like, okay, here's my chance. I'm not going to get stunned.
Yeah.
Full ultimate.
But his positioning, he force-staffed up and then just created this kind of zone that you weren't able to get where the rest of the team were just hitting your racks. Like you were going to lose your racks either way. But with that damage output, they even were able to secure kills. And I felt bad for the Tiny at the end. They shut him down. Like that Tiny should have been dangerous. But it's like you had a blink dagger, right? He still had a blink dagger.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he sold it for Yasha.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, he sold it for a Yasha.
Yeah,
so he was going to go for a Manta.
He didn't have a blink anymore.
Because even if he didn't get the Yasha and kept the blink, I think that just blinking into the back of him and just allowing so you see the DP coming, ignore the DP, blink behind, and just try and get a few swipes off because you're such a threat that Viper's still going to have to hit you. Even if you give up your life and everyone's fighting you, you're kind of allowing everyone to fight the Death Prophet. And that was a more important kill, to kill the Death Prophet, than, in my opinion, the Tiny.
You still had the Conker dealing a lot of damage, even if the Tiny wasn't there.
You had a lot of damage output for that team. So getting rid of the Blink Dagger and getting hooked, and that force staff into Cogs, man, March, that was an MVP move there.
I actually think that was the first fight that MVP actually initiated. Like all the other fight was Bat Rider coming in, but that was the first fight that March took. One YOLO, like you said, and actually started the whole thing.
It just makes you think, like by the end, if the Viper had gone for the Dragon Scepter before, like instead of going for the hood or the pipe, like maybe MVP could have taken this much earlier because that essentially that Viper strike won them that team fight so hard.
Yeah,
that's why I said if you get the axe, you're able to do shit. But at the end, I didn't know if it was going to be enough. Because I considered the damage output to maybe be too high, that you would only get one Viper strike off anyway. So it might have been worth getting your MKB or something that you guys mentioned, just so you can actually just be like, yeah, I'll kill this person. I'll kill the Tiny.
Right.
as opposed to an Axe, which is like, I'll just constantly slow the Tiny and let the Crystal Maiden kill everybody, which is,
That was so
doesn't...
sick.
Right enough. Anyways,
weird.
we're going to go to a break now, Lumi.
Sure.
If that's okay with you.
That's fine with me.
And when we come back, we'll have the third best of one between MVP Phoenix and IG. And now, I was kind of thinking, well, this is going to be a storm watching the first game, but after the second game, man, I don't know what's going to
I
happen.
mean,
IG
honestly,
will take the last one.
game two is still a stomp, except IG dropped the ball. Right?
Well, but they
Pretty much.
can.
It was
drop
like
the
a
ball.
stomp, but their foot hit a banana in the middle.
I just want to remind you, like, remember the TI4 All-Stars match?
No, but okay, yeah.
Remember, like, when Techies came and, like, there was an All-Stars match. Do
Yes.
you remember it existing?
I did not watch the All-Star
But
match.
do you remember it existing?
Yes, it existed.
Well, during that match, everyone was kind of, like, fooling around, and it was Ferrari and...
Oh, was that game where, like, all the Western players had fun?
Yes.
And the Chinese players just sat
were,
in
like,
and,
super
like,
try-harding.
Yeah, okay.
Which makes me think is, like, when we were talking about, oh, maybe IG is, like, just fooling around, just, like, being careless, I don't think this is the kind of players that actually do that. I don't think
No, I
they're
agree.
just, like... So
That's a good point, yes. How did they fuck up so bad?
give MVP some credit, and let's go watch Game 3 after this break.
What a segue.